Sorry. Hi.
It's all good. How's everybody doing?
Hi, everyone. It is definitely my fault, but we're
No, no,
here.
no, no. It's. I thought I gave the right information, but I think our
You
signals got
did.
crossed.
You did, but I received it anyway. Hi and welcome, everyone. Hi, Robert. We're finally here.
How's it going, Xanthi?
It's going well. I mean, it's late here. It's 9 p.m. in this part of the world. So, tired, miscommunication in my brain completely. But okay, I'm here. How are you?
Okay, I spent a little time between last show and this show to just get things a little bit spruced up back there, so it looks a little bit less how do I put this? Cluttered.
Yes, it looks nice. It looks nice. And hello, everyone in the chat. We have a great show today, Robert.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool that with everything that's changing like in the streaming landscape, I thought it'd be kind of neat that it's still pop culture, but just kind of like taking a step back of just seeing like like what are our viewing options as to what to watch. Just because there's a lot of changes now that
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm.
things have kind of flipped on its head where it was like, the consumers like us had, like, plenty of options, and now it's like the companies, like, kinda respond where they're kinda tightening the belt, so to speak. So it's just a matter of, like, things that what we can do to kinda keep up with changes as well as just being aware of what's going on, so, but I thought before we get into the minutia of like all that, just kind of take a step back, like what led up to it, like what are how we currently how we're currently watching streaming programs, and then what are the changes that's gone on, and then kind of going like what we were talking about before we went in here, like things that we can do to make things manageable.
Right. So today's episode is how do we consume pop culture streaming content? No, how do we stream? How do we consume pop culture content through streaming? Because I mean, nowadays, I don't know how many to is still watching regular TV. Of course, there are people watching regular TV, but I guess the majority of us that are part of this technology, YouTubers, whatever, I think we're just streaming, whether that is Netflix, YouTube, whatever, HBO, whatever. Hi, everyone. Hi, George, Rich, uh, and now Edward. Is that Paul also? Love Audio Productions.
Yeah, he was
Hi.
on here. Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
And so, yeah, so we are going to talk about it. You have done a lot of homework, a lot of research, and I did also. You provided us with a lot of valuable links, Robert, here. And
Yeah,
we were talking backstage before the show, even, and I was like, okay, let's just keep some to discuss through the show and not say everything in the back.
exactly.
Mm.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot. I know it's like a lot of content to wrap around as to like what's been said uh and what views are out there, but I think overall you can kind of quickly see like what's what's being changed. Well, I know one thing's for sure that I mean as a consumer, we still have the option as to like what shows we want to watch and what not based around our schedule. I don't think that's going to change at all.
No, and
If
just to a step back, I guess, and I would like to know the people in the chat. I mean, what do you stream? I mean, I take it for granted that you stream, but what is your favorite? Is it YouTube? Is it Netflix? Is it HBO? Is it something else? What do you have like? And the differences between Europe and US.
yeah.
But I mean, it is a big difference in how we were consuming content back in the 90s that we had to wait. We have talked about it like the certain time in front of the TV. It starts quiet, no one speaks. Now we're going to watch it, and then advertisement, a break for the ads, advertisements, and okay, we have to grab something to eat, I guess, or now I can go to the toilet, or God damn it, they break the pause the show for the advertisements right on the best part, all those things, which we don't experience that anymore. Of course, there's advertisement in product placement when we're watching shows, but we don't experience that anymore. Are we getting spoiled?
Well, maybe they're just if you pardon the expression, they're self-conscious of how many restroom breaks we need just because people are getting older. So,
I mean,
but I mean,
okay,
yeah,
people take their devices in the toilet nowadays. I mean, we have that
well, that's
convenience.
true.
I mean, yeah, I know people are doing that, but yeah, yes, I'm the CIA
But
here, so yeah.
but I mean, no, to your point, I mean, it's just that it used to be that you'd have to like set your time to like when the program's available to watch, so that you just pop right in front of the couch and watch it. Where before you'd have to wait a while before they replay it. And now it's like because it's up on whether it's Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, whatever, they may show it at that set time, but then afterwards, you don't have to worry about if you miss it when it comes live. You
I
can
know
watch it on the
it's go
replay.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, and in some programs, like even when you watch it live, like well, I mean, now I'm talking about DirecTV, but before, like you could like um pause the show as it's still going through, and then you can watch it later. Now with Hulu or Netflix, you could still do the same thing. So it's like you have control to watch it at your own pace, where before you didn't really have it. It's like once it's playing in real time, it's playing from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so, so that the behavior, like how you control the programming, that's a big thing. Where before all you can do is like change the channels and turn up the volume, which
Yes, yes,
it's still
yes.
important, but
Yes, George. Yes, there is a pause button, but I said I meant like back then in the 90s there was no pause button. Back then, the pause button was the ad
tapes.
break. Yes. Now I feel. I mean, yes, it's pause, and sometimes I pause it and I forget it because I get I'm doing other stuff or I don't know whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Um.
mean, or like if you like with me sometimes like when the a character like talks really fast, it's like, wait, what did he say? And then I can hit the rewind button, like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Or read that, I'll just put on closed caption and just don't have to worry about it, so I can always just kind of follow along. Because like
As
there's
a
some characters that
sorry. Yes. Go on.
oh no, it's just like there's some characters that just mumble and it's a little hard to hear. So, that's why like oftentimes like if I think I'm gonna watch a program that has a lot of action or like the characters talk fast, I'll pop on the CC just so I don't miss out as to what they're saying. Just because sometimes like it may be integral to the plot or just or maybe there may be like a callback to it. So, um, it's crazy.
As a non English speaker, like native, it's English is not my first language. It's not even my well, I guess it's anyway. Yes, I do have to put captions because it's easier for me, and especially if there's something with different accents. So I always use caption. And says it's YouTube. But you have Amazon Prime, we do, and Netflix and Apple TV. I have cancelled. We have cancelled Apple TV, to be honest, and of course
Okay,
local TV in Ireland. Of course, we have local television. I mean, here in Sweden, but it's like 30 minutes a day towards the news tops in my case or in our case, me.
right.
But the TV channels also everything that is on the regular TV you can stream it, you can find it on demand also on their website. So
Yeah,
why was it live? Well, I mean, okay, when it was elections a week ago, we had elections. Okay, yeah, you were watching it live, but you could stream it also. So it's like, I guess Sweden is, I don't know, we stream a lot here in general. But
yeah.
may I just say something that it just came to my head? It's not exactly
What's
what
that?
we talked about, but it has
Okay.
to do with rewind going back. I was watching
Yep.
or listening a podcast and it was Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know if Paul is still around. Maybe you will appreciate because it has to do with his accent. He's old, but it doesn't change the fact I was never able to understand Ozzy Osbourne because he has a certain accent from is it Sussex? I don't know. I don't want to say anything stupid. Sorry, apologies. But yeah, um, so I was watching it, and it is a perfect example where I had to go back
Yeah,
like what did he say now? And I had to
exactly.
be like yeah, yes. You're old
But
school. You watch GIFs on your MySpace. Is it GIF or GIF? GIFs on your MySpace. Do you still have a MySpace? Is it still on? No, sorry.
Yeah, but whether how many people use it, I don't know.
I don't
I mean, it's
know. Yes.
it's gathering dust is the best way I would put it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's even funny where even like the closed caption people don't know what
Mhm.
Ozzy's saying. So sometimes you'll just see these question marks because they don't know what he's saying. It's really
That's
bad.
yes, yes. He has always been, even when he was 20 years old, he was speaking like I don't want to say anything, but that it's Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, you love him or hate him. I enjoy listening to him, even though I don't understand what he says. He's yeah. Um, one of the links that we have gathered today, if we just get into some hard data, I guess.
Mhm,
So this is a survey, and it says we surveyed over 500 American using SurveyMonkey audience. I don't know. It's
mhm,
something. Okay, yes, this and about their streaming or cable or streaming services, and half of respondents who report watching cable TV only are 60 years and older. Over a quarter, 22% watch a combination of cable TV and streaming, and 31% of 18 to 29-year-olds say they watch both. 16% prefer to watch satellite TV. Oh, it's people that are from another country. I know, like, for instance, people that move to Sweden, let's say Greeks, and they want to
mhm.
watch the Greek shows, they have satellite dish, yes. A little over 10% of people use streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, iTunes, Hulu, and age makes a difference. Um, a quarter of a quarter, 27% of these 500 Americans, 18 to 29 years old, say they prefer streaming services. I have a feeling those numbers are not completely accurate, but we get an idea that, of course, the younger you go, the more streaming you prefer. And I have to put that. Also, did a lot of too much Rex. I had. Sorry. Yes, you did put. You also. Yes, he did. Yeah. Where does YouTube TV fit in? That's a great question, Catherine. Have you used YouTube TV?
I haven't. Is that different than YouTube, the Prime account that you were talking about earlier, or
Well, we have premium here. I have
premium?
premium.
Excuse me.
Premium, yes. And they have movies, but they're not included. You have to rent them.
Okay.
So the premium, at least I haven't investigated everything. So far, the premium is that we are ad free.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I would imagine. I mean,
There must be other perks. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I would maybe this is like a stretch of an assumption, but I would imagine that I would think that the YouTube TV would have the same other benefits like it is like just regular TV where you have control over the content as what you can watch and when you can watch it. So I think it just falls right in with the others, just maybe the different content that's accessible on YouTube TV. But I don't I can't say for sure like the exact benefits like what they may have to others, but other than just in a general comment, just the ability to control the content is when you can watch it and and where you can watch it.
So here is an article from CNN, and it says that the cord has been cut. Streaming is more watts than cable, and this is from August. Now it's recent, 22, August 2022, and from a research from a recent report. The milestone has long been expected as viewers change their viewing habits, and it says that in July, streaming amounted to 34% in the share of total TV consumption. So, and I guess it will only get higher and higher.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
it's um yeah. I think if anything, with the way how so much program that you can control, I think, and maybe it's kind of jumping the gun to the next point where it's just keeping up like as to where all the programs are being streamed. Just it before like there'd be overlaps as to like what movies you can see depending which channel, and then it goes to like if you're looking at specific networking programs, like certain streaming channels would have the rights to be able to show it. Then it gets to be a little bit confusing as to where you can watch it. Um,
But we were talking before also about the cable TV because I asked you what exactly is cable like in the US, and it was all those private TV stations like History Channel we were talking about, yeah, because
yep,
we had that back a while ago here when we had like a so-called digital box connected to the TV,
right,
but this is considered old. Well, not old, but not modern technology. I mean, we don't use that anymore. We don't watch history, those channels anymore. Um, everything that is available right now, it's only streaming or video on demand, whether that is national TV. I guess the majority. I'm not an expert. Okay, this is just our opinion. We might say something that is mistaken. We're free. Please let us know in the comments if I say something that is not correct. But my experience is that whatever channels and TV programs, like Swedish productions, no, like a TV show, it is streamed. You can find it online. Not everything can be binge. Is it binge watched?
right.
But um, yeah, everything can be found online. And of course, if you some channels, you of course you have to purchase the subscription. But I mean, and on History Channel, it was also the pawn shop, pawn wars. What was it?
Oh, Pawn Stars.
Yes, Pawn Stars. I don't know if they're still on TV, but they are on YouTube now only, I think. So things are changing.
Yeah, I know. Like I don't know like if they just like don't show it as often as they did, but
Or maybe it
I
has
know
to do
like
with what you said before. Sorry to interrupt, because you made a great point about the budgets, the productions.
yeah. I mean with Netflix, I think the last big movie that they had produced on their own was The Gray Man with Paul Paul no, Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. It was like a $200 million picture. I think now that they're starting to focus on like saving money and just like uh, consolidating what programs they may have. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, they may still do it, but I would think that they'd be a little bit more deliberate as to when they would spend the money for something of a big production. And I think that points to like a trend that we're seeing where now streaming companies are not more behaving more like cable or even like network TV, where they're just being conscious as to what they're spending. Where at the beginning, if you want to call it the streaming wars, what they've been calling, where everyone's trying to knock off Netflix and they're like buying um, programs rights left and right. I think you're gonna start seeing more and more cost conscious, and so that in terms of what they might put out there, it may be different.
When it comes to Netflix, I would agree with you. I mean,
Mhm.
there might be like a big production, but in general, they might keep the budget low, since they have been losing subscribers recently because of all the
Yeah,
whole sharing your password thing, which I find it ridiculous anyway. I mean, ridiculous to share why would I give my password to, like, no, I don't share my passwords. Like, no, get your own Netflix account. Like, what the? I mean, what anyway? So good on Netflix on canceling that. Losing subscribers because of that. Well, I
but
mean, that's, yeah.
I
But
mean,
what I
if
wanted to
not,
say, sorry, what I wanted
okay.
to say is that we have Netflix, which I agree with you that they might want to lower their budget, but then we have Disney Plus,
Mhm.
which they are okay. They go big on all the CGI and the filming technologies, which it might be a low uh, budget. We have talked about it with Star Wars about all those things, and with our guests on the previous show. but still it's good quality CGI. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they might put the same amount of money, but to make the technology super wow amazing. I mean, so I guess it's
Yeah, it's to your point, it just depends on which network or network, which streaming company has
yes.
the budget to produce something like that. But I would think that with Disney's case, I mean, like, they have like the whole Disney like library of like animation, programming, and such, so that I think you'll start to see like more companies like they'll start to offer like these bundling deals. So like, I know like with Disney, their big offer they have is they bundle ESPN and Hulu with Disney Plus as a way to attract um, new customers
Not in
to have.
Europe, at least not in Sweden.
No?
It's Disney Plus. It's only Disney Plus and whatever. I mean, Marvel and all those things, but it's only the Disney franchise.
Oh
We don't
wow.
have
So like,
Hulu.
yeah. So I mean, like here in the US, they bundle Hulu, ESPN with Disney Plus. Just the idea of with volume to be able to attract.
You mean as a subscription package, like those three services?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that. I probably. I guess we had something like that here. It was the Olympics, and in order to see the Olympics, you had to subscribe to Discovery Plus. Was it worldwide, or I don't know if it was only in Sweden? But we had to get, was it Discovery Plus or something, another channel to be able to
Mhm.
watch the Olympics.
Oh wow. Well, I know like Discovery's in a talks with HBO to be able to, I think they're in the process of combining the two streaming to to be able to have more content to share.
Mm.
But at the same time I've heard like um Warner Brothers at least is like cutting back. I think pulling some shows. I don't know which ones, but it's kind of like all over the place where at one point they're looking to acquire, but then they kind of pull back and just kind of like parse out like finding what program's not working and then cut that off
Mm.
of the streaming offers. So
The bundles here. Okay, so Joshua Lee says the Apple One deal with Apple Music and Apple TV rolled into one is a heck of a deal. Yes. And Amazon Prime and Apple TV comes free with my broadband service. That's a cool deal, also. Yes.
yeah, so I mean, depending like I don't know, I'm not sure what Verizon has, but I mean it's going to be like more or less they're trying to like offer value as a part of the solution as what companies are trying to do to either attract new customers or at the very least keep the ones they have because um it's now getting to the point where the strategy of like creating new content to attract new viewers it's a really costly strategy because
Mm,
if that's the case you're gonna like spin your way out of your own business just to create new content just to bring in new people which is just
mm,
I I mean at one point I kind of understand but then I didn't understand then it's like you know I know they're trying things to keep their customers, but it didn't take long to like to see them like to go the other way, which is the like how can we save money? You know, maybe
mm,
do we want to really produce this show or do we want to are these the programs that we still want to keep in the library? Um so it could have that kind of like that house cleaning effect of just kind of like dusting off programs that they no longer want to have
mm.
just because no one's watching it or something.
Um, Before we go to the streaming consuming habits, let's go to ranking of streaming services by cost and value. That was an
Okay.
interesting point that you made, and because I mean, okay, in my understanding, Netflix is, well. Hi, Grimskull, welcome. What is your favorite streaming service? Like Netflix or HBO or whatever those things. I mean, in this household, I mean Netflix for us. I mean, it has a great variety. We're using Netflix a lot. Um, I don't even know how much it costs nowadays. And then we have Amazon Prime and Disney Plus. Disney Plus will never be cancelled as a subscription in this household. And we were talking about it, and I said, whatever we were trying to say, okay, do we really need all of them if we want to, gather? I said, I want Netflix, has a lot of anime shows and it has a lot of variety, and of
right?
course Disney Plus has to stay. So I think we canceled Amazon. No, we have Amazon. HBO, we canceled HBO, which is a pity because HBO has some interesting shows, but their technology is not there.
Mhm.
And HBO doesn't really well, I want to talk about the binge watching, but this is in the habits, I guess. So maybe we'd keep it for
Right.
later.
Okay.
But, but how would you rank? What is your ranking criteria? Oh, you have also everything. You have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN, Amazon Prime, HBO Max. Yes, the ESPN bundle, as you said. Yes, which we don't have it here. Yeah.
I mean, I would think. I mean, unless things change in terms of the amount of
Should
content
I
they have.
share the list?
Yeah.
Should I
Yeah. Sure.
share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Go
Hmm.
ahead.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's Netflix on the top. I can't make it out.
Yes. Wait, I'm gonna make it a bit. So come on. I don't want. I want to. Yes. So yes, we have Netflix at $10. Disney Plus is at 8. Hulu at 7. HBO Max at 10, and Prime at 9. Oh my
Although
god, what do you want me to accept? Oh.
I'm not sure like how long those prices are gonna be because I think they plan to raise some of them. At least I know. I thought Netflix had gone up to like 14, 15. Unless I'm thinking of a different service. But yeah, I mean,
This is recently updated. It's September 2022. So what
unless
is
it could
how
be
much?
like unless it's like the basic service, like maybe not like having the ability to stream more than one device.
Yeah.
Um, I think that may be why, at least with this list, maybe that's why it's peered down. Like, let's just say it's just only one person; they just only need one access. Here's the bare bone. That's the only thing I can think of as to why it would be that low.
What is the difference between the basic and the premium on Netflix?
I think I think with Netflix, like you would just get like the basic streaming options, and you maybe like had maybe like one backup uh
Oh,
destination where you can view it.
wait, I'm
Where
Googling at the same time, at least here in Sweden. I
okay,
don't know if it's the same everyone. It seems low. Yes, it should be the basic. Because 99 Swedish crowns, which is the equivalent of $10, let's say,
yeah,
you have one screen. Whereas
yeah.
the premium, which is, let's say, $18 maybe or 20, you
Mhm.
have four screens or, screens, TV screens or mobile devices.
Oh, okay. I think Grimsco was mentioning about the quality of the video where it's at 480. I think okay. I think the
Maybe
resolution
it's
of
also
how you
that.
can yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably what the see that's the thing with these with these value lists is that the devil's in the details. So
Yes,
it's still a
you're
good
correct. It has also it is the on the premium you have the high definition or ultra
right.
high definition. Yes.
So so it could be that what you're seeing at the very low, it just could be like where the resolution may not be that great, but you just have the
Right.
basic being able to at least see it on one device.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I was saying before on the
Yep.
pre-show, Netflix,
Mhm.
they're thinking, I don't know if it's happening, but they're thinking of going away from the binge watching model, which is what make them big, I guess.
Mhm.
So they're afraid that they might lose subscribers from that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that unless they'd be a little bit self-conscious as to, the sheer volume of people logging in at the same time to consume as the if they limit as to how long, but that's kinda hard where you're changing people's behaviors, like how long they could, watch a certain program because that definitely affects your behavior as to not only, when you can watch it, but, like, how long. Um,
Right, like available for a certain amount of time.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But, but then I would imagine, like, depending, like, who they're teamed up with, like, if they, like, partner up with a, telecommunications, like, like Verizon, AT&T, and, they could, like, take advantage of their streaming or their line access capabilities to how much
Have
volume they
more
can take.
capacity for streaming
Yeah,
more simultaneously. Yes, that could be the case. But I mean, binge. Is it binge or
mhm.
bing watching?
I think it's binge.
Binge. Okay, thank you. So for me,
Okay.
binge watching. When I was younger, I didn't have so many responsibilities and things to do. I was burning it. I was watching things like entire season or in like a matter of 2 3 days. Now I don't really care because I don't have the same uh, time to do those things.
Right.
But I appreciate the convenience of having all the episodes there for me. However, it I mean, it was on HBO. Game of Thrones was on HBO. I think that was the only show, I guess globally, all of us, we had the same streaming habit because we all of us were waiting on a certain time to be
Yeah.
available on HBO to stream it and watch it as soon as possible so they don't get spoiled, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's almost that with the change of I don't know if I'd say availability, but I mean, when the pandemic hit and everyone's kind of forced to hunker down, I mean, everyone just to
It,
watch a program, so there weren't
but
that
it's
many
what you
options.
said. It is what you said because everyone noticed everyone was home streaming. They had to
Mhm.
reduce the quality
Yeah,
because it was impossible, I guess. Yeah.
or that if they're gonna do that, they would have to pay a premium, but that probably would be a bad strategy for the fact that because with that many people forced to stay in and not able to work and stuff, that does have an effect on the consumer's wallet. So they were kind of in a bind as to how they would handle that. But yeah, I mean, but now things have loosened up that and that especially now that there's more options as to what people can do beyond streaming. I'd imagine that. Well, I mean, like you say, they could still take measures to um, make binging less likely um, thing to do. But I don't know. I have a hard time seeing them doing that just for the fact that would it would limit as to how people can view it. Not to say that they can't watch it at a certain time, but just like how long um that could be a problem. But I mean, it could be that maybe
I
that
mean,
many people.
yes. And what Grimskull says is you need to pay an average of 15 per streaming services, which is pretty much right everywhere globally. I mean, the prices pretty much are in that level. Then throw in
Yeah,
80 or so for high speed internet, approximately
yeah,
50 to 80, depending, yes. And to stream it on multiple devices. Then 200 a month for a family of four to have devices to stream on it. It's up, and that's up
it
these
adds up.
days. Yeah. I mean,
So
yeah, where are we? Is it getting expensive to stream to watch shows?
I mean, it adds up. I mean, if you can only watch like Marvel programs on Disney, and now DC cartoons or animated whatever was on HBO, and to get both, you have to pay both subscription. I mean, it starts you start to dogpile as to the amount of subscription you need to be able to watch your program. it gets to be much, and so it's almost like you have to like make a choice as to, like, do I just pick one or the other, or maybe
Not
like look at
easy.
other alternatives, yeah,
Yeah.
to view it. So
Okay. Stupid question, I know, but it's like English. Cutting the cable is a dead concept. What do you mean? What does that mean?
so it's the idea like you no longer watch programming like on basic cable or like direct TV, and you just
Hmm.
limit it to just watching programs and streaming. But I think because of like how now companies are responding by just being very deliberate as to how they invest in new programming or other means that uh, I don't know if I would say like people are starting to go back to cable, but because streaming companies, in my view, I think they're starting to behave like if they're like a cable company, network company. It's almost like I think it's just more like your viewing habits as to like what makes sense. If you feel like you're gonna be watching most of your program on basic, maybe
Um,
it could be like,
no, yes.
oh, I'm sorry.
Continue.
It could be that maybe you might see some redundancy. Maybe you might stick to cable, but if you like that flexibility of being able to watch programs at your own time and being able to go to a source where it has all the content that you want to watch, maybe having that subscription is not bad. Just I think it just really depends on uh, where all said and done is like where the program's going to be that you find yourself watching. If you're only watching like local programming in the news, basic maybe be enough. But um,
Yeah, and networks are starting their own services like Paramount Plus, that Grimskull says. So that's a network behind it. And I mean, Paramount Plus, they took Star Trek. God damn it, they took Star Trek. Why did they do that?
so
I,
like I was trying to figure that out because like, is it like they Paramount Plus is not available in outside, or
it
are they?
is, it is. But I was like, no. I mean, no. I'm not going to pay for another service just because you want to promote another streaming service. I don't care if it's a network behind it. It was obvious a marketing case. I mean, I don't know how much money were behind this deal. Give us Star Trek or we want Star Trek. You take that much money and you stream it on Paramount because we want people to stream on Paramount. F you. F you.
or
We we don't have Hulu here. I don't know if there is an add-on on another Swedish service here, but that I think direct. I mean, and I'm not as informed about the Swedish networks, but I think all of them, as I said, all of them are on demand. All of the channels or the TV stations, I don't think they exist anymore. Of course, if someone is not, I mean, like old people, they had to go digital. They had to upgrade their TVs to be able to stream because there's no plug the TV in the wall anymore. There's no analog
well,
signal, or yeah.
there is, but what's available analog is just more like it's almost like watching like Access, but actually it's just like local network. You're just kind of like at the whim as to
Yeah,
whatever they throw up there.
yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't know if there is here. Maybe there is. I don't know if someone lives in Sweden or in Scandinavia, and you know something. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, yeah. But like, I know people here are watching, regular. We call it tableau TV. What do you call it? Like regular TV, like, but
You mean broadcast TV?
a broadcast TV, I guess, the regular TV. You put the TV,
Yeah,
you have channels, and then you have like shows and then ads and
yeah,
everything. Yes.
yeah.
I don't we don't do that in our household, as I said, rarely. But there are people doing it, watching
Yeah.
Netflix, but also still watching weekly shows, which I find it ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
I
yeah,
mean,
I don't. Yeah.
no, I mean, like to your point, like my parents, they still watch local programming, like like you say, like with news and such. And there's still some basic program that within their own the network stations that they'll catch live. But at the same time, the benefit of having like a cable like DirecTV, they can watch other programs, like you say, like whether it's History Channel or other programs. I can't
What?
think of right now.
I'm sorry. There is a new Beavis and Butthead? What?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I don't have Paramount. No, no.
I mean, I don't have Paramount either, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that Beavis and Butthead are
I
going
mean,
back.
what is it? The new Beavis and Butthead, or is it the old, like
Both.
new? Uh,
You seem a little speechless there.
I have to Google. I have to Google new
Yeah, I mean,
Beavis
I,
and Butthead
I know like
movie.
South Park was like because like they did an article about South Park about how even though like they were on Comedy Central that they had some sort of deal with uh Paramount so that they had to have new content there, but I don't know if like they could still view the old stuff and the other. It was like a hot mess, and then they mentioned about how they also had like Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So
Okay, so yeah, I see here. I'm on Wikipedia. So Beavis and Butthead, they were revived for a second. No, what is it says? A second revival. Sorry, I'm ahead. Um, the series was revived with an eighth season airing on MTV in 2011. A second revival consisting of an initial two-season order premiere on Paramount Plus on August 4th, 2022. Now, recently? No, I completely missed it. And a second film? Beavis and Butthead to the Universe was released on June 23rd on Paramount Plus.
I hadn't seen that.
Thank you. Thank you, Enda, for letting me. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Robert, for having this episode today so that I get to see this.
I forgot how much of. Well, I mean, I haven't thought of Beavis and Butthead in a while, but it's yeah,
It's
it's
the 90s. For I mean, not the early. Yeah, I mean, MTV. I like new podcasts. I cannot. Okay. Um, should we discuss a bit the streaming habits, or what is the future? How do you see us streaming in the future?
well, I think in terms of how we stream, how we've been behaving, I don't think that's going to change. If anything, it's just more like what's available as to what we can take
I mean,
advantage
we're
of,
streaming from
and
our phones, even.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
phones, tablets, TV. I think if anything, it's just a matter of just knowing where the programs are to uh, be able to decide, like how much of it we consume streaming, or like how much if people still have cable, or even like going analog, like basic TV, how much of it they catch from there. I still see that, like even like the basic YouTube, like has been a source where I mean I know like during the pandemic I've been watching a lot just because before like there was such new content like on HBO and all this stuff. I'll watch some of this the unique programming you would see like on other people's YouTube channel, but channels like let me see if I get this name right, like Tubi, like they and Pluto TV that you can watch on streaming. They would have like reprogramming within the streaming environment, so it almost acts like cable, but it's just in a streaming environment to watch programming
Okay. Yes. Yes. So it is streamed, like it's cable model, payment model, but it is
because you're watching
streamed.
it in real time. But
Yeah.
so you could kind of like still kind of pause and rewind, but that's like during when the program's on. Um, but at the same
You
time,
you guys have a lot of stuff over there on Roku. There is a lot of free content with ads. I mean, I don't even know what Roku is, but I guess it's some sort of streaming.
yeah, it's just think of
I mean, I remember when it was 2010, 11, we got the Boxy, and we had a lot of channels there that, and
yeah.
Crunchyroll. I mean, it's a streaming. Yeah, we don't have those things anymore. At least not. I mean, I don't know, George. Are you still watching? What is the status in Cyprus here? Um, Or Apple TV. Yes, we have an Apple
Yeah.
TV and then we have Android TVs. Yes. Okay. Okay. You have a
So
lot of different stuff over there.
yeah, I mean, I
Correct.
imagine people would take advantage of that, of see the free programming. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Whether
Okay. Get it.
that's
Got it. Got it. Yes.
so I would imagine you'd see more of a rise. I mean, now a lot of TVs here in the US you can buy, they call smart TVs, and it's just like having like a Roku device or like a or
Yeah.
an
Smart
equivalent of
TV.
a Fire Stick
Mm-hmm.
built in, so that
Mm-hmm.
you'd be able to watch your programs. So it's I think it's a combination of just like you still people still watch TV behave like they normally would do, like they watch it on their own time when they want to. I think it's just a matter of just like how the content is presented, is what the difference is. And now with streaming programs now behaving more like network or cable TV, I think just a matter of just kind of like wait till the smoke clears as to what program is available as to where you can go to watch it. Um, because
Mm-hmm. Has there
no,
been
and
rumors about Netflix introducing ads?
I think that they're planning to. Um,
That
just
would
like
destroy the
when,
whole thing until the smoke.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just like Hulu. Like before, like they had started out just like Netflix, where they offer no ads. But then I forget a few years ago they had to start offering ads just because they need to have the revenue. Um, and just
I mean, I could see it happening, but then we will go back to the same mentality, like a TV station with programs, and then advertising companies and their clients having millions in 30 seconds, like ad
yeah, pretty
video
much,
with
yeah,
this. So then we will go back to the TV, not technology wise, but behavior wise. And I don't know.
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, The only the only thing I seen, if you wanna call it, of not having ads is, like, it's within the program. I forget, what article
Product
I read.
placement, I
Yeah,
take it, yes. Yeah.
exactly, so that
Mm,
it's still they have to be very clever as to, like, how they would bring it into, like, a program, but
mm,
at the same time, they know it's there. I forget, like, if it was where I read this, but, like, Stranger Things, they're very clever, like, with Coca-Cola, you would see it in the shot of, like, whatever,
mm.
episode it was, but I think it's gotten to the point where they actually, like, have it kinda like green screen so that they have, like, some sort of template, like, wherever you'd see, like, a can there, they would just change the logo as to what whoever they're sponsoring that episode.
All right, all
S
right. Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know, like, how when they had start that, but you might see something like that where you won't see, like, a standalone ad, but it's kinda built in. I don't think
Yeah.
they're gonna do anything like Games of Thrones where, like, they would have, like, a Starbucks mug in there by mistake, but
No, right. I mean, because having an advertisement, it will destroy the whole point of the streaming service because it will interrupt the show. And I guess product placement is not interruptive, but something else. And
Mhm.
HBO still only releases episodes once a week. I mean, yes, they have missed the whole binge watching memo, which is good and but I mean, I don't know. I'm divided. I like for me this is the habit that I'm thinking,
Mhm.
am I a consumer that I want the option of just sitting and having all the episodes ahead of me? I mean, yeah, because I'm watching The Sandman now, and I'm not watching it all at once because I I can't, but I watch an episode a day, and I like the option of having it there to be able to watch it. Wait once every new week. Wasn't the case with Hawkeye when we were watching it? Was not was it released all at once? Anyway,
No, they were doing it, weekly,
weekly.
but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I would guess that that's if they meant by releasing the program, like, once a week. Yeah, I mean, they're already doing that, but, I mean, I think the only exception I remember is, like, Umbrella Academy on Netflix. They released
Hmm.
it all at once, as a
I mean,
season.
the majority of Netflix is all at once. At least the shows, many of the show, not all of them, but a lot of the shows that I have been watching. Another consumer or consumption habit when
Mhm.
it comes to streaming, how we stream and how we consume our pop culture shows, is that, and it was in one of those resources that we found. We put something on Netflix or HBO or whatever, and then we get our
Right.
phone, and then we do something else on the phone while the show is played. We could probably doing that also when it was TV, but it's like multiple devices, one show playing there, doing something else, or streaming a video, watching a YouTube video at the same time, and the whole FOMO.
Yeah.
Like I have to do. I guess it's a sign of our times that short time span, too many things happening. We want to watch this. We don't want to miss out on social media. We have to watch this YouTube video, everything at once. My poor brain. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
And I guess yes, are we reprogramming our brains and how we consume content?
uh, I don't know if I would say reprogramming. It's almost like we're just kind of like rolling with it. It's just a
Uh,
matter of whether we accept.
let's
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I like that. Okay, yes, yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
to your point,
Mm.
I mean, I'm still kind of glued to my phone, and I got to work on that. But yeah, I mean, I think
I'm
as
watching
long
on
as
my
we
phone
know,
also lots of stuff. Like yeah, so yeah,
but
Apple
it's
TV and mobile phone. Yeah, sorry. Yes.
no, it's bad for me. Like I'll put on the big TV, but then sometimes like I'll have my tablet and phone. If I get like a notification like, hey, Xanthi's streaming right now. Like, okay.
Exactly that. The notification is what is distracting us, right? We might have all the good intentions of watching a show, but then something will bling bling. Even though I put it on silent, it will glow. And I okay. And then it's a news from H&M app. New clothes, new trending clothes are out. I have to check what is new in fashion now. Example. So of course I'm going to not paying attention to the show, but of course I have the remote. Pause, rewind, go back, and see what I have missed. Yeah.
Or what's bad for me is like I have like the Chromecast built on my phone, so if I would just want to like flip it on, I
Or
was like,
that,
oh
yes, of
okay,
course, yes.
get
Stream,
my
yes,
geek on,
yes,
get your geeks on. I'll pop it up
yes,
and see what you guys are
yeah.
doing.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, yes. But I do the same. I mean, on YouTube, I just cast it on the TV if I want to. Yes, and then I put the Apple TV and AirPods so that I don't wake up the rest of the family that is sleeping like next to me. So I'm just
Oh,
watching,
okay.
and I have the AirPods, and yep, enjoying it. I mean, yeah. It's not like what it used to be back then with the TV and, you know,
I know. Well, I mean, some things are better, and some things like, yeah, we have too much
yeah,
options. I can see how it works against us, but yeah,
well,
that's a trade off.
yeah,
One of the trade
yeah,
offs.
yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know if we reached to any conclusion in this episode. What do you say?
Well, I think if anything, it's just a matter of just kind of sounding an alarm that if they're starting to see why companies are like paring down the number of content they have there, or just like why are they
Mm,
getting ads as to like why there's so many bundling deals. I mean, at least people can point to this show like, oh yeah, Xanthi and Rob had mentioned something about that. Okay, we'll figure it out.
yeah, yeah. Well, and plus the global inflation that is happening and the price is going up, then the reduction in budgets is happening, I guess.
In which case, we'll start to see more people complain like, oh, I wish we could share passwords. Wait, what?
It depends who
Yeah.
I might give my password to. Like Grimskull, never. I'm joking. I'm joking. Of course, I would share my password with you, Grimskull. Never. No,
Well,
sorry. I'm joking. I was.
it's funny because like I forget how Netflix worked, but if it's like within the same household, it's okay. But if it's like an
Yeah, yeah,
outsider, then they have
yeah,
like a
yeah,
sharing fee or something like that. I'm like,
yeah,
sharing
yeah,
fee?
yeah.
Wait, what?
No, no, yes, no, no,
But
no, yes. I'm not sharing in password. It's a security. What is the word? Because I was saying the Swedish word. The security hole. You know, not
Right?
sharing. I feel an MC Servant going again. Am I going to get
MC?
banned again? Minecraft. It's a
Oh,
joke.
Minecraft.
We were
Okay.
playing. We were playing. Yes, and I was okay. I was not banned, but I could have been. I was about to get banned, but then my computer crashed. So I, I. Anyway, it's
So
a
use
joke.
technology to your advantage. Gotcha.
Oh yeah. Yes, I'm joking. We are joking. Yes. Okay. Mm.
But yes.
Yes, I mean, okay. Do we try to make an attempt to summarize? We have been it's yeah, we have been talking for an hour, and I see how we can easily
Oh yeah,
drag
because like
more. I mean, yeah.
there's so many ways to look at it. But yeah, I mean, if anything, uh, I think at least starting like last month, we're starting to see companies starting to tighten the belt. So if anything, it's a matter that it's probably a trend that it'll continue. I think if anything, just being conscious as to like what options we have to keep
Mm,
up with the changes, and it's just more just I think it's just a personal preference whether you roll with it or if you just want to get out to see like what other programming is available. Um, or either that, as I was going to joke before, when it all else fails, there's always DVDs.
right. Let's go back to the DVDs. Yes.
I still
Yeah.
have I still have VCR tapes, but I didn't feel like going up in the attic and pulling one. So
We don't have a DVD. Well, we have a PlayStation which that can read Blu-rays still, even the PlayStation 5, but
depending which,
that's
yeah, I think four, 3, 4, and 5 they can read Blu-rays. Anything
yeah.
before that, I think it's just regular DVDs. At least I think.
We don't have a
Yeah,
DVD player. So
I
let's hope
had
we
one,
don't end up there. So yeah.
or VCR
I
tapes.
let's go retro. We've become retro. So I know there are so many more things that we have written here that we want to discuss, but we maybe we can save it. We can have another show to continue this discussion about the streaming because we
Yeah.
didn't cover everything we wanted, or you. I know you had a lot of
That's
thoughts,
I mean,
but
I think if anything, I mean, we cover the points that we want, and
mm,
if we do another follow up, if folks, if you like to hear a follow up, let us know. We'd love to hear that.
mm,
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, if I think it just like there'd be like different stats, whether the support or just uh take it a different direction as like what where they see it may be going. But I think for the most part, some of the other articles that I saw kind of echoed like what we're talking about.
Mm, pretty
As to
much, yeah. Mm,
where they're going. It's just I think right now it's just a question as to like what more options that may be available as the months progress, as what people can do to watch their programming or at the very least keep up as to knowing where their programmings are going. Like, is it going to go Netflix? Is it going to revert back to Hulu? Um, I know that although TV Guide is no longer circulation, I think they do offer an online service so you can see like which programs you can watch. I think, or at least I think they do like with the cable programming. I'm not sure if they go into the depths of like where you can go for streaming programming. For that, I think you probably have to like check out the different trades online.
right.
Just no,
Yeah. I guess you have to Google it. Just Google it. Yeah.
yeah, or
So yes.
oh no, or I think there's some certain influencers like focus on certain programmings, and sometimes they'll like say like where you can watch programs. So, but then that's
Oh,
just a matter
yeah.
like
Mm,
that's a different matter. Or
mm,
people can just tune into us and we'll tell them
mm.
if they give us an advance warning.
Yeah. So how do we wrap this episode up? Do we do a teaser?
Sure. Um,
Just
I
following
think
your
was
lead here, your notes, or
No worries. I was gonna say, like, I mean, if folks have like other suggestions as to like what you're doing as to what streaming programs you're watching or options that people should be aware of, please leave them in the comments. I mean,
Anything we
I'm
haven't covered up that you will want us to discuss or something? Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
I mean, we love to hear it. I know, like, in some ways, I feel like we barely scratched the surface, and I know there's more than one way you can find programming or watch programming. We'd love to hear it. I think just in terms of what we've seen, it seems pretty. I don't want to say limited, but it's just almost like you either select which programs you want to watch on on streaming, or if you're gonna go the free route as to like what options are there. Like there's Roku. People watch just are fine with the basic programming on YouTube or even um like on Vimeo, like people like watching like unique content, but that's a little bit different just
Mm,
because of it's a more of a
it's
I guess
niche.
you could say like a niche independent vibe. So
Mm.
um or the summary is like if you got a better suggestion, we'd love to hear it. So
Let us know. Exactly.
let us know in the
Yes.
comment. But
Yeah.
but beyond that, if people have questions as to what we covered, or just have a different take as to what we said, we'd love to hear it. Just throw them on the comments. We love to check it out. The replays will be available here, whether you're
Mm-hmm.
watching here on Shala YouTube or Xanthi's YouTube or elsewhere. You can just catch the replay, and we'll look out for the comments. But
Yes.
beyond that,
Yes.
I think we covered
That's it.
everything.
We covered everything. Yes. Well, thank you to everyone for participating and telling us your experiences and what you're watching and streaming. Robert, thank you with your insights and informing us about the current streaming situation in the US and what
Oh,
people
anytime.
know that we have. Yeah.
I love the international
Mm.
perspective because I knew there's some things that I didn't know. So to hear that the troubles with Paramount Plus and other things like that was a bit of an eye opener. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much the same, small maybe differences, but yes, and as I said, I'm not an expert, so yeah, just saying my reality. Uh, but yeah, so that is for today's, I guess, show in how we consume streaming content. Yeah. I'm gonna take
Exactly.
my phone and I'm going to be watching something on YouTube while I doze off, with my AirPods, like a podcast or something or some show, whatever. Maybe I will continue putting the Ozzy Osbourne podcast and interview on Apple Music podcast to
With the closed
sleep.
caption on.
Who would put no? Who would put Ozzy Osbourne on a podcast to fall asleep? I would probably choose something calmer. We will see. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, George. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat. And you can find us we have all of our information in the description below. You have your handle. Hey, it's Robert Lee. I don't have my handle, but you can find me xsyrakou.com. I have all my social media links there. I hope I spelled it correctly, but the link is in the description below. Yes. Yeah. So thank you, Robert.
As always, it's
Oh,
always a pleasure, and I guess I'll have you take us out. You can throw out the
please
outro.
do the honors because before
You want
I
me the honor?
yes, please.
Okay, no problem. Wait, it was on before,
No,
but
bye everyone.
oh, I got
No,
it. Take it easy, everyone.
okay.
It was supposed to stay up there. Sorry, guys.
Oh, wait, we're still live.